Hello people, July here again, and today I am going to explain how the smithing skill evolved and was trained in the RuneScape 1 era. Released on the 4th of January of 2001 as part of RuneScape's official launch, smithing is an item production skill that was arguably the most important non-combat skill in RuneScape 1. The reason for that is quite simple. Good weapons and armor were in a state of constant demand. In addition to that, not many players were able to smith rune items because the skill requirements were considered to be extremely high at that time. For example, smithing rune items require at least level 85, which not many people had in RuneScape 1. Smithing rune plate legs, rune plate bodies, and rune two-handed swords, which was the best rune weapon of RuneScape 1, required level 99 smithing, and even today it takes most people years to reach level 99, so now you have an idea of how small the supply of rune armor and weaponry was in RuneScape 1. The demand was so high that initially more than 1 million GP was asked for the rune two-handed sword. Furthermore, the entire concept of skilling was not popular and smithing was regarded as one of the more difficult skills to train, which it actually still is today. Luckily, even as early as in 2001, rune plate legs and rune plate bodies could already be bought in the Champions Guild. The weapons, however, could not. The lucky few high-level smiths could easily make a lot of money just from smithing the rune two-handed sword. In fact, the high-level smiths were the richest players of the game in the RuneScape 1 era. Any high-level smith would always ask the other player to provide the materials, usually the bars, and then often an extra fee was charged as well. The problem with that, when it comes to training the skill, is that those items were extremely difficult to obtain in RuneScape 1, and it was advised that you either mined all the rocks yourself, or that you collaborated with a miner who would then sell the ore to you. Then initially there were only 3 furnaces in RuneScape that could be found in Alcarid, Lumbridge and Falador, and today they are still at the same location. Today we also know that iron ore is the only type of ore that has a failure rate of 50% for smithing, and we have a beta tester to thank for that. It was Rap who suggested that it should be like that in RuneScape 1. Furthermore, anvils used to be located a bit farther away from the banks than they are today, and there initially were 4 anvils. These could be found at Doric's Place north of Falador, in Thurgo's Hut at Mudskipper Point in West Varrock, and in the Wilderness. Goldsmith gauntlets were released in April of 2002, but they gave only 33.5 XP when worn and when smelting gold bars, as opposed to 56.2 XP today. The Dwarf multi-cannon and its cannonballs were released in May of 2003, but cannonball smithing wouldn't become a decent way to train the skill until later in RuneScape 2. Back to RuneScape 1. Even though smithing could be profitable even at lower levels, the act of training the skill was usually done on a do-it-yourself basis. If combined with mining, it was common to mine iron at the South Ardonia mine and to smith it into plate bodies, granting 11k mining XP and 6k smithing XP per hour. Another alternative was smelting bars at the Alcarid furnace. Smelting steel ore was good for an XP rate of just under 10k XP per hour. Smelting rune ore provided 12k XP per hour. The small difference of only 2k XP can be explained by the fact that smithing rune bars requires more coal than smithing steel bars does. For example, at Alcarid it was possible to make around 550 steel bars per hour, but only 240 rune bars. A next step either involved selling the bars or turning them into items. Usually, these steel bars were turned into steel plate bodies or arrowheads. Smithing steel plate bodies could earn up to around 90k XP per hour and a little under 50k XP per hour for making steel arrowheads. The extremely rich players, however, could turn high-level bars into items as a legitimate means of training the skill, although keep in mind that only a few people were fortunate enough to be able to do that. Making adamant plate bodies could yield XP rates of around 150k XP per hour, and it was possible to generate 180k XP per hour from rune plate bodies. One of those extremely rich players was BlueRose13X, who became the first person to reach level 99 smithing, and that in December of 2001. So, smithing is a skill for which there was a lot of demand in RuneScape 1, while there weren't many people at all who could provide rune armor and weaponry, which was the best type of armor in RuneScape 1. Even though there was a smithing method for everyone, the cheaper ones were generally slow, and it was often advised to train the skill together with mining. So that was my video about smithing in RuneScape 1. If you enjoyed it, then make sure to give it a like and to subscribe for more, or to follow me on my social media pages. I will make videos about other skills as well, so that's something to look forward to. Thank you for watching. I am July, and I hope that you will come back for more.